Hey Paperlovers, welcome by a new YouTube video for our creator journey. And in this YouTube video I will be participating a YouTube hub. I was invited by Sara and I was very happy she asked me to join this YouTube hub. So what does school like for you? Is the title of this YouTube hub, and I have a picture from my son from the third grade, and I love to document this photo. So I started with my background, and this is a paper from Teresa Collins, an old collection from her, but I think perfect for this layout. And I use also some blue cardstock, and with some SJ tape I glue them together. And I want to use some mixed media in my layout, but first I start with some gesso. I have a little sponge that I use, and I apply some gesso on my background with this sponge, and then when I dry it with my heat tool, then it's good enough to work on with some mixed media. And I want to use some distress oxide. So my gesso is dry enough, and I want to use some mixed media. But first, I have a cut file from Page Evans. It's a book, and I want to use a school book, of course. I draw a line with my pencil, so I know where I want to have my stains. And for my mixed media lookalike stains, I use a stamp from DLS Design and some Oxide, and the color is Faded Jeans. I put some Oxide ink on my stamp and spray it with some water with my water spray bottle. First I stamp on a paper, and my second stamp is on my layout. I dry it with my heat tool and do this several times. And when my mixed media stains are dry, then I'll make some splatters with my brush. I put some distress oxide and mix it with some water, and with my brush I make some splatters on my background, and then we go to the next step. So now we started with a cut file, and I was inspired by Crystal Baker, and she also had a book cut file with filled up with book paper, and I thought it's an awesome idea. So for this layout I will also fill my book cut file up with some book paper, and I used an old book, and with a pencil I draw the lines and cut it out with my scissor, and with some glue I glue it behind my cut file. And of course I do it for both sides. So now it's time for next step on my layout. I want to stamp with some stamps, and I use the color Distress Oxide Chipped Sapphire. It's a darker blue color one, and I use my stamps the words documented, this life documented, and I also use the word noteworthy, and I stamp it above my cut file. So now we start with a photo from my son, and I think it's the first grade, and I like this photo very much, so I want to document this on a layout. First I start with to place my cut file on my layout. I use a double-sided edge shave tape, and then I erase some pencil lines, and when I'm finished with erase pencil lines, I want to cut some dark blue cardstock on size, and put it behind my photo, of course, and also for the edges I use my distress tool to ruffle the edges from my cardstock, and then I put it behind the photo. So now it's time to decorate my page further, and I also use the die set from Bramblebox. I wanted to note behind my photo, and for this note I also ruffle the edges with my distress tool, and also the pocket I use on my layout. I ruffle the edges because I like ruffle edges. It gives you a little extra dimension on your work. The paper and the pocket are from Pink Paisley, and I thought it's from the Hip Kit Club June kit. Also some die cuts are from Pink Paisley. I think the most die cuts are from Pink Paisley, but also there are two collections. I use the collection I thought just look Let's Stay Home collection, but also the boys collection of the teenage collection from Pink Paisley, and I use them both because they have both nice die cuts I wanted to use on this layout. So now it's time for decorating of puzzling with my die cuts. It's sometimes it's puzzle for me, but I don't mind because I like it. It's for me sort from a craft therapy. So when I'm satisfying how my die cuts are on my layout, then I glue them with my EnzeeFX double-sided tape, and yeah, I do this several times. It depends on how much die cuts I use. I like to use a lot of die cuts. I like to embellishing. I think it's the most fun part of scrapbooking. And when I'm completely satisfying with my with my die cuts, then I go to the next step, and for now just enjoy and see how I'm puzzling with my die cuts. So I'm finished with my die cuts, but I want to use some extra on my layout, and I'm using the perspectives from Bramble Box. I used the mini stars, light blue mini stars. And now it's time for my scrapbook title. Okay, first share the joy, work hard, but I thought no, that's not a nice um, title for this layout. So the title for this layout is Hey boy, share the joy, explore the world. So here for the word explore, I use the puffy alphabet from Pink Paisley, also from the Let's Stay Home collection. And you see for the world and Hey boy, I use the mini stickers from the Tim Holtz, and it's the Chit Chat. I like word strips because sometimes your title is very long, and now I think if you use also some tiny word strips, you can make a big title, and also you have some space on your layout. And for the word strips, I use my fine liner and my ruler to put some lines around the word strips, so you see them better on the white background. And I also did do this with the word strips Hey boy. Here I'm gluing the perspective mini stars on my layout, and I've it's also a little bit puzzling where I wanted to have my stars. And for a little bit extra dimension on my work, I make some splatters with white ink. It's a white ink, and with a little bit of water I make some splashes with my brush. You can also use your gesso or your acrylic paints. Put also some water to it, and then you can make splashes on your layout. So I do this with the white ink, but I also make some splatters with my distress oxide. And here I stitched my cloud in with golden threads on my layout. It's a cloud from Vellum, and I like stitching on my layout. When I'm following page for a long time, and that's why I saw it. She makes beautiful layouts with stitching, and I, I think it gives your layout a little bit extra. So I decided to stitch the clouds or through the center of my layout. And the beginning of my title Hey boy, I put them also on the cloud. And when I'm finishing with my stitching, I like also to ruffle the edges from my background paper, and I do this so well on the top as on the bottom. So I hope you enjoy my YouTube video for the YouTube Hub. Um, in my subscription, there are also a list from all the channels from today will join this YouTube Hub. I want to thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoy it. And also have a little fun with Kelsey. Hop over to Kelsey Webster, her YouTube channel, and have fun today. Okay, bye bye.